At dawn, a tractor wakes before the workers do. Its route is already plotted. Sensors blink to life. A barcode printer chirps. By the time boots hit the soil, the day's invisible assembly line is humming. Time, tasks, even trees slotted into production logic. The farm looks like land. It behaves like a factory. And the foreman now speaks in dashboards. We're told this is the future. Higher yields, lower waste, absolute traceability. But whose future is it? In the digital farm, control over nature and control over labor converge, tightening into a single, data-driven grip. That grip stabilizes global supply chains. It also remakes the lived experience of farm work, its pace, its visibility, its bargaining power. The idea that farms act like factories isn't new. In the 20th century, assembly line logics crept into the fields. Standardized crops, specialized machinery, time clocks tied to tractors, and an obsession with efficiency. Industrialism reorganized work around the machine's rhythm, not the workers. Industrial agriculture faced two stubborn frictions. First, space. Farms sprawl, orchards hide activity under canopies, fields stretch over hills. Supervising labor here is hard. Second, biology. Plants grow when they please. Weather resists schedules. Pests redraw plans. Calculability, capital's favorite metric, kept slipping. So capital innovated on two fronts. It sought tighter control over labor, tailorist time and motion studies, task breakdowns and piece rates. And it sought deeper control over nature, chemicals, machines, breeding, and spatial design to standardize biological productivity. Over time, both labor and nature were pulled under the factory's command. Today, the plot thickens. A new layer, digital systems, claims it can finally tame both frictions at once. Call it the digital factory farm. Sensors watch soil moisture, satellites infer plant vigor, machine vision estimates fruit load, GPS tags trace people and pallets. Platforms integrate it all. Performance, location, outputs, merge into clean dashboards that promise precision. What makes this moment different is not one tool, but an interlock. Digital technologies don't just tighten control over nature to simplify labor, they also transform labor into data, fuel that deepens control over nature. A loop closes. Labor measures the field that disciplines labor. This loop is no abstraction. We can see it operating in South Africa's Western Cape fruit sector, a globally integrated hub exporting to Europe, China, and the Middle East, where digital tools are being piloted and scaled. The Western Cape is a test bed. Apples, table and wine grapes, citrus, stone fruit, production geared for exacting export markets. Local startups linked to universities and producer associations build and service digital tools tailored to these orchards and vineyards. Large commercial farms, especially those selling to European supermarkets, are early adopters. Why digitize? Two reasons surface again and again. First, supply chain pressure, traceability, quality, uniformity, documented sustainability, demands granular data. Second, labor costs rising with minimum wage adjustments, productivity and supervision challenges in dispersed orchards. Managers describe digitization as a way to keep margins under global price pressure without fully automating labor-intensive crops. Full robotization of delicate fruit picking remains distant. Seasonal labor remains central, but digital oversight can compress harvest windows, reduce required skill, and recalibrate incentives. Precision agriculture compiles multiple data streams: soil profiles, satellite vigor maps, camera-based fruit counts, to tune irrigation and fertilizer block by block. The prize isn't only yield, it's uniformity, synchronized ripening, standardized canopy, predictable quality. Uniform fields are easier to manage. Fewer decisions at the row, quicker harvests, shorter seasons, less skill needed to sort fruit on the tree. Breeding trends amplify this. Labor-friendly varieties designed for higher yield and easier handling. In some blocks, workers even perform manual precision farming, trimming bunches to target shape and length, a human hand enforcing machine ideals. Control of nature becomes a method for controlling labor's time and required expertise. Now flip the circuit. Digital Taylorism enters the orchard. Each crate labeled, each picker identified, each movement geolocated. Performance rates clock in real time. Quality flags ping back to individuals. Piece rate thresholds shift as the fastest worker becomes the new benchmark. Surveillance disciplines pace, and it produces a trove of ultra-granular agronomic data. Those scans create new yield maps, identifying underperforming rows and trees, tracing pests to precise locations, feeding targeted irrigation and spray decisions, optimizing logistics to satisfy supermarkets' traceability demands. Labor's unpaid data work powers precision's promise. The loop tightens. For workers, the day reshapes around visibility. A GPS tag rides on the belt. The tractor's route is logged. The crate sticker carries your name into the packhouse and, potentially, a supermarket audit trail. Surveillance reaches places where, historically, the canopy gave cover, foot dragging, side picking, quick breaks, slipping off site, all long-standing micro-resistances. The device dissolves opacity. Targets can move midday. Bonus thresholds recalibrate after lunch. The ideal pace is recalculated from a composite of best performers. In a sector where seasonal contracts and brokered labor remain common, the threat axis, bonus withheld, contract not renewed, tilts toward management now armed with minute-by-minute metrics. And yet this very data, produced by workers, legitimates agronomic interventions that further compress the work window and de-skill tasks. The platform doesn't just supervise labor, it coordinates biology against labor slack. For growers tied to volatile export chains, digitization promises stability, uniform outputs on schedule, traceability receipts on demand, fewer surprises from weather and workforce variability. In the aggregate, digital tools can help preserve margins despite retailer power and price pressure. They might even anchor a national export brand's reputation across seasons. But there's a cost in political economy terms. As data requirements harden, participation in global chains becomes contingent on adopting specific tools, workflows, and metrics, often designed or mediated by tech vendors and auditors. The same systems that promise farmer empowerment can re-centralize power in platforms and buyers, while converting worker effort into proprietary data sets outside their control. It's not that the industrial model is replaced, it's stabilized. Digitization integrates with monoculture scale, chemical inputs, modern breeding, and seasonal labor, tightening their couplings, smoothing their outputs, and insulating them against supply chain shocks. The factory in the field is updated, not undone. 3 uncertainties shadow the digital factory farm. 1. Precision's real precision. Can algorithms consistently master biological variability, or will imprecision farming persist under the surface, with false certainty masking noise? 2. Labor agency under surveillance. Digitized oversight may dampen everyday resistance, But workers have historically developed new tactics under new regimes. How will organizing adapt when evidence and discipline live in the data stream? 3. Data governance in the chain. Who owns and accesses the worker-generated data that calibrates interventions and secures retailer trust? The farmer, the platform, the buyer. What happens when dismissals or disputes hinge on contested metrics? These questions aren't academic. They shape bargaining power on farms, the distribution of value in supply chains, and the ecological footprint of how we grow food. The digital factory farm makes one truth unmistakable. Data doesn't float above the field. It's harvested with the fruit by people whose movements and decisions become inputs to someone else's optimization. The same tools that standardize plant growth standardize human time. The same dashboards that promise sustainability can diskill and dispossess. The system is elegant. Its politics are not neutral. Digitization will not by itself make agriculture fair or ecological, but it can be steered. That means debating who sets targets, who sees data, who benefits from gains, and who bears the risks when the model misfires. It means designing governance that treats worker-generated data as labor, not as free exhaust. It means testing precision against biological reality, not just platform logic. The farm may never cease to be a factory in the capitalist imagination. But if the digital layer is here to stay, we have choices about transparency, about dignity, about how much power a dashboard should wield over a human day. The future of food isn't only about what machines can do in a field. It's about what we decide they're allowed to do to us. To support us in bringing you more of the political economy of agrarian production, please subscribe to this channel. We will be back again with another story from the field every Wednesday on this channel.